What's up, guys? How are you? Welcome into a Thursday morning episode of the Daily Juice Podcast. I'm your host, Matt Perrault. Every single morning, we are here across wherever you get your audio podcasts and the BettingPros YouTube channel for the video for this podcast. Always being brought to you by OmahaSteaks.com. Omaha Steaks, their semi-annual sale going on right now. Promo code JUICE gets you $30 off. The already 50% off going on right now at OmahaSteaks.com with their semi-annual sale. Real quick here at the top, and this is a podcast about sports betting. So what I'm about to say is just because it's really weighing on me. But last night, with what happened in Lewiston, Maine, I've got a lot of family in the Portland, Maine area. And my sister's boyfriend is a firefighter who got put on call during that. He works in the Portland area up near Lewiston. So it's been a pretty hairy night. It's been a pretty significant night for me. So just want to say my thoughts and my well wishes to everybody up in New England, in Maine. There were med flights taken from Lewiston to the hospital next to where I grew up. I'm from Andover, Mass. Lawrence, Mass is right next door. There's a hospital there, Lawrence General Hospital. I've been in that hospital. My mother, spent time working in that hospital. So to hear that victims were taken there, and well, it's 10:30 at night here on the West Coast. So the numbers are horrific. 22 people have been killed as of tape time, and over 80 people have been shot. And what we know, I guess, is this was a mentally deranged firearms instructor, which I can't really understand those words, but it's been tough. I'm in Vegas, and so it's always hard when I'm this far away from loved ones when tragedy strikes. And if you're in the area, if you're in New England, if you were, God forbid, affected by what happened, I just want to say a quick thought. I don't like the thoughts and prayers line. I never really have. I don't think it really is significant. It doesn't solve anything. I'm pretty frustrated by everything that's gone on in this country around that topic, but just want to give my thoughts and just want to say that I'm thinking about you guys, and I'm hoping for the best, and hopefully we can find our way to stop these things from happening because they've become far too common here in America. So, sorry, get off the soapbox now. Let's talk betting. Last night was not good. Last night was bad. Celtics, we were one shot away from getting swept 0-5 last night. The prop bets, and by the way, just a heads up, I'm going to take a break on the props for the NBA for a couple of days. I'm going to let the prop bet cheat sheet get some games under its belt. I wanted to use it night number one, but it's hard. I mean, the algorithm needs – Derek White had 2 assists. We needed 3. Scoot Henderson, I don't know what happened. I didn't watch much of the game, but they got killed. Portland got annihilated. So that may be a team we want to fade going forward. But it's one game. It's hard to kind of get a good grasp on the algorithms and just the trends and rotations and whatnot for these teams. So I'm going to let the prop bet cheat sheet get kind of caught up here for a couple of games, let these teams get a couple of games under their belts. And it's fine because we have Thursday, we have football tonight, we have hockey tonight, and then we have, obviously, college football heavy, NFL, so we don't need to bet NBA player props for a couple of days here, probably until like next, Tuesday or Wednesday. So we'll take a break here from the player props, but 0-2 in the player props. We're down about 0.55 units on that. And then we got 1-2 on the full unit plays, but that 3 at the buzzer could have killed us. I mean, they won by 4, Boston did, so they just covered. That was sweating that thing all the way to the end. So we got a fortuitous shot miss there. Remember that when we get beat on a buzzer next time out from a player perspective. But the Timberwolves fell apart in the second half. They lose to Toronto in the team total. If it went to overtime, we were good. Boston wound up about 2 or 3 buckets shy of their 113.5. First half team total also did not hit for Boston. So let's watch that for Friday. My gut tells me that number is going to be super low on Friday against the Heat, but we'll see what the team total number is for Boston in the first half in the game as well. Probably an underplay for Boston in Miami, as Boston's going to work out some of the rotational kinks and whatnot. So 1-2 officially on the full units, 0-2 on the props. So not a great night. Down 1.7 by my count. That wipes out the wins, basically. So we're back to right around flat, maybe up 0.1 or something for the week as we head towards Thursday. Okay, so We've got 3 bets I like in hockey. I got 1 bet in the NFL. I'll give you the NFL bet first, and then we'll get into what we're going to do here for the NHL tonight. Okay, so I don't like this game at all. I'm not laying 9.5 points. I'm not laying 9. I'm not playing the over. 43.5, I guess. You want to jump on that. That's potential there. I'm not taking the points either. Tampa might get run out here. So I'm going to play a little bit of a gut feel. There's some numbers to back this up, but Buffalo lost to the Patriots. Their offense didn't look good. I would expect here, even on a short week, I would expect the Bills to come out fired up in the first half. The first half total is 21. The Bills average 17 points per game in the first half. Now, Tampa only scores 7 points per game in the first half. So what that tells me is the books are thinking about a 17-3 type of first half, which is 20, and so it goes under. And you could say, Matt, why don't you just lay the points in the first half with Buffalo? And you could do that too. You can lay the first half points if you want with Buffalo. That's a thought. I thought about doing that. But the Bills' defense has so many injuries that I don't know. I was like, what happens if this is like 13-10 at the break and we miss it because it's 4.5 first half line? We'll have to leave them by 3. And we lay the points with the Bills, and then they lose or they win. They're up 13-10, which I think is a really good chance. Touchdown and a field goal from this Bucs offense, not impossible against a Bills defense. It's banged up. They have so many injuries on that defensive line. Milano, White in the secondary. I mean, they have got just big issues. And this is a Bucs team that's been a little scrappy. They've been throwing the ball. Mike Evans having a good year. Baker, it's prime time. Total's 21. 3 touchdowns, 14-7. We push. I think it's possible. Bill scored 2 touchdowns and then 1 touchdown for the Bucs, or vice versa. It's 14-7. I don't think that's crazy. The weather should be fine. Yes, it's prime time. Yes, it's a short week Thursday. I'm going to bet the first half over. Okay, Bills have scored a lot of points against bad defenses. The Bucs don't have a bad defense, but the Bills have scored big points against the Raiders. They scored big points against the Dolphins. They scored big points at home. So they have scored a lot at home. I think they score a lot in the first half. Over 21, 1.1 units. Bills and the Bucs tonight here on Thursday Night Football. A little bit of a trend here. I got some exotics. This is an exotic Thursday. Sometimes I get bored and I want to just bet things that I think could hit and I like and that are a little bit different. That's one of them. We haven't done a first half total yet here in the NFL. There's your first one. First half total. Could be our last if I lose it badly. If it's like 3-0 at the break, I might not do it again. But 21, over 21 points. Push potential there. Bills and the Bucs, Thursday Night Football for 1.1 units. Okay, now to hockey. Speaking of exotics, I got 2 first half period bets I want to make. Philly and Minnesota. Over 1.5 goals in the first period. It's minus 130 at DraftKings. Minnesota 4-2 to the over, but they're 6-0 to gifts. Goal in the first 10 minutes. Don't mind that play, but it's super juicy. Philly 5-1 to the over. In their games, 2 goals being scored, 5-1 to the gift for them. Same record. So you get a gift, goal in the first 10 minutes, decent shot. We're getting 2 goals in the first period. Doesn't matter who scores the 2 goals. We just need 2 goals in the first period. It is expected to be Gustafsson against Hart. Now that's just expected. That can change, but probably. Gustafsson's the worry there. He's 1-2. He's been giving up goals in the second and third periods a ton. Not a ton in the first period. But Carter Hart is 3-0 to the over on the road this year. 10 goals given up in 3 games on the road this year for Carter Hart. We're going over 1.5 goals. Minnesota in Philadelphia. First period, over 1.5 goals at minus 130. 1.3 units down. We've been doing well. I still have this adage in my brain. You only pay the juice when you lose. And I know this next bet's going to be juicy, but I think it's got a really good shot of hitting. This number comes from Caesars Shop, okay? I've seen this as high as minus 170. It's minus 140 at Caesars William Hill. Rangers, Oilers, over 1.5 goals in the first period. The Rangers are 4-2 to the over this year in the first period, over 1.5. The Oilers are 5-1 to the over 1.5 goals in the first period. Yosturkin, surprisingly enough, Igor's 2-1 to the over in first periods this season on the road. Campbell, first home start, okay? So this is the first time he's playing at home. We don't have any numbers on him at home, but he's given up 15 goals in 4 games. I mean, he's given up just goals after goals after goals. Like, it's just fading Campbell's not a bad idea. It's minus 140, but we're going to do it. Rangers are 5-1. Let's go to 6-1 to the first period over. Rangers, Oilers over 1.5 goals in the first period is minus 140. All right? So 2 first period over 1.5 goal bets. Over 1.5, Minnesota, Philly. Over 1.5, Rangers and the Oilers. Gifts, go right ahead if you want. I mean, again, Minnesota is 6-0. Oilers are very aggressive here. Same type of numbers. I believe they're 5-1 to the gift for the Oilers. Let's see. Oilers, yes, they're 5-1 from a gift perspective. So you want to jump on that. Rangers are a little bit scary on the gift. The Rangers are, where are the Rangers? They're 4-2. That's not too bad. They're 4-2 to a gift. So you can do that too if you want. You want to do goal in the first 10 minutes? Go ahead. Goal in the first 5. Try for a Santa if you want. Go right ahead on that. Minnesota, you hit the Santa last time out with Minnesota. Goal in the first 5 minutes, meaning goal in the first 10 minutes, and over in the first period. There's a Santa. That's your sweep. If you want to do that, I'm just going to take the first period and use the whole 20 minutes rather than cut it in half. Over 1.5 goals, Minnesota, Philly, and Rangers and Oilers. And then one more bet for you, the opposite. Full game under. Boston Bruins taking on the Anaheim Ducks. These two teams played in Anaheim over the weekend, 3-1 win for the Bruins. Anaheim is 3-0 to the under on the road this year. The Bruins are 2-0 to the under at home. Ullmark in net, he is 3-1 to the under so far this time. Sorry, he's 3-0 to the under. He's given up the final scores for the games he has played, 3-1, 3 separate times. Gibson in net, he had a loss on the road to Vegas, but the game went under 4-1 in his only road start so far this year. It is 6, push potential. We're going under 6 goals. Anaheim in Boston tonight for 1.1 units. Okay, a little bit of a different type of card. Got to shake it up sometimes and got to have some fun with it and enjoy different things you can bet on, different angles and plays. Again, you don't have to follow any of these. It's just what I have bet so far here tonight for the card on Thursday. Again, to recap, we are going first half over Bucks and the Bills, over 21 for 1.1 units. We are going over 1.5 goals for Minnesota, Philly at minus 130 in the first period, and over 1.5 goals in the first period for Rangers, Oilers at minus 140. And we're going under 6 goals for the Bruins and the Anaheim Ducks, under 6 for 1.1 units there. So Thursday, 4 bets, not touching the NBA, although there's only 2 games in the NBA. I'm not going to touch either one of those. We're going to look towards the weekend. College football, I'm not going to touch college football yet. We'll get back to college football coming up tomorrow. And then obviously a big slate. I don't love the slate on Saturday. The college football slate on Saturday is okay. Nothing great. A lot of top 10 teams with huge spreads, 20, 25 points. Tough to lay that many points, but we'll get to that coming up on Saturday. My name is Matt Perrault. You guys can follow me across all socials at Sports Talk Matt every morning. The Daily Juice Podcast being brought to you by OmahaSteaks.com.